Peace, everybody.
Be better if I turn the audio on. Peace, everybody. Welcome back. As you can see, I was putting on my Blue Day Chanel compliment by MAAT'S Fragrance with our new labels. So I left a link in the chat. Make sure to check that out. If you have any questions, send me an email how you can get a 10 milliliter roller bottle, one just like this, and I'll send it out to you. We also have a special sale and discount going on, free shipping for no matter the amount of oils that you buy. There's free shipping right now, and I have a limited supply of samples that are going out too. So inquire about our fragrance list and send me an email, and I will shoot that out to you. I did a live. Well, first of all, MAAT. I am your host. I did a live Saturday morning. And first, before I do that, I want to say peace to the person in my Twitch account. Peace to you, whoever you are. And peace to the person that's in YouTube right now. I have 3 lives open right now. I have my Twitch account, I have my YouTube, and I have my Facebook. I'm using a program here that I'm learning as I'm going live. It's called Prism Live. It's a free open source program. It's sort of like OBS, but a lot less heavy on the computer's hardware. So it's great for laptops. It's great for my laptop. I got a Dell Asperion. And so I'm learning as I go. So that brings me to last week's live where I could barely listen to it myself. And I produced it. So I do apologize because, like I said, I'm learning as I go. And I'm actually testing this system out compared to the one that I'm more comfortable with, which is called StreamYard. And I like this one because you can do so much more with it, and it's free, which also goes to our topic tonight, our brief topic. So this is going to be a short live. It's not going to be like my normal weekly lives that I'm producing now. And so hopefully you can see it well. It's not too blurry, and everything is good. So I hope everyone is doing well that's watching, and those of you that will be watching in the future. Always recognizing those of you in the future. Excuse me, I just got to check something here. So always looking out for those of you that might be coming 5 to 10 years from now and finding me. So peace to you. So let's get into it. So tonight's topic is, yes, information is free if we can access it. Information is free if we can access it. The problem is the great information that we seek is not always accessible because there's a price to it. And it doesn't always have to be a monetary price. It could be something where you have to spend time, which is even more value than a monetary price. We get that mixed up in this society where we value the money over the time, when it's really the time that's being wasted more. Because if you notice, whenever money leaves you, money is always coming back. Even if you're the homeless person in the street digging in the trash can tonight, you always get back. You find a nickel, you find a dime after you spend it on some wine. So we're always giving and taking. We're always getting back what we put out, and that's the main main reason why this live came to me tonight, it actually inspired me, was because what we put out is exactly what we'll get back. So I decided to start up on YouTube again after, and I haven't really left YouTube. I'm doing other things on YouTube, but I mean doing a solo thing on YouTube again because for years, YouTube's just basically been attacking my other channel by me putting out truthful information. They're shutting it down. This is during the height of what was going on with the COVID. They kept shutting it down. So I got tired of doing the solo thing because it was a waste. In the end, it became a waste of time for me. So now I'm back. It seems like that part of our lives has gone away for now, and I decided to come back. So I'm deciding to spend my time doing this in order, in the long run, to receive back what I put out there. So if I just keep thoughts in my mind and don't attempt to put them out there to share with the rest of you in the world, then how can I expect to get anything in return from what's going on in my mind? And this is a big problem, not only within myself in the past, but I notice with other people. A lot of people have great ideas, but they don't like putting them out there for whatever reason it may be. I can't judge anybody on that. I can only judge myself, but I know when I don't want to put something out there for somebody else, most of the time it's because of fear. Most of the time it's because of fear. And fear is very limiting and debilitating, and it's actually a detriment to yourself. So people, including myself in the past, expected to get information for free. And yes, you will get certain information for free, but you're probably not going to get exactly what you're looking for. So the things that I value the most today, I literally had to pay for. And that's okay, because you'll get to a certain mind state if you continue to watch me where the money almost becomes irrelevant. Yes, we need money. Yes, I don't disown money. I actually love money. But I don't allow it to own me, only because I know in the long run, I am looking towards the goal. I'm looking to what money may be able to bring access to. And yes, money does offer you a lot of options, don't get me wrong. But I've also been in situations where those options weren't available, but yet I still obtained what I wanted. And I've shared this many, many times. When I first came out here to California, and California in itself coming out here was acquired by having very little money, but yet it was a goal I wanted to obtain. So I've never been one to limit myself to what is happening out here on the outside, what information is coming in from the outside. So there are those that are out there that believe that they need a certain type of value or a certain type of money to access certain things. I've never thought in that type of mindset. I've always been of the notion that if I can use this, then I can get what I want eventually. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually I will get what I want, or something very, very similar to that. Because it all comes down to putting your thoughts into action. And one of the beginning parts, the first parts of doing that is using your mouth, speaking. I remember my grandmother used to say, and this is an old adage or cliche, that a closed mouth doesn't get fed. And that's so true. It's still relevant right now. A closed mouth doesn't get fed. And we only keep our mouths closed because I've been in this situation before where I was hungry, but my false pride within me kept my mouth closed. And I said, no, I'm good. I'm not hungry when somebody's offering me something that smells really delicious. But for some reason, I know the reason is now, it's just fear and pride, false pride. There's nothing wrong with regular pride, but false pride kept me from eating that delicious meal. And we all do this. We all do this. We all do this. And it's so inhibiting because there's things right now that we all want and desire, but yet we have that closed mouth. And it's simply just speaking, talking about it, talking to somebody that might have an opportunity that can bring us closer to what we actually desire. And I actually experienced that when I came out here to California many years ago. I actually experienced it, and it mainly because I was on a mission. That's another thing. The information that we seek a lot of time is to benefit us and drive us closer to what we want. So where's a good restaurant where I can get something to eat? You ask for directions to go to a certain park. You ask your friend, what do they think about a certain item that you purchased online? Whatever it may be, information is constantly moving and flowing and intermeshing with all of us. Even within many relationships fall apart for lack of communication. The people aren't stating exactly what they want at a certain time. I was a huge example for this. I'm not going to share it here tonight because that's not what this topic is about, but I will eventually, because I advise students and clients this all the time from my experience, from keeping my mouth closed to what I truly felt and wanted. So I'd say almost a decade ago when I came out here to California, again, I was driven by that goal to come out here. I came out here from the East Coast. And if I was taking that type of journey already, where I wasn't afraid to go across the country with $200 in my pocket, just figure out how to get to where I'm at right now in my place here. In my mind, I felt I could do anything. Not to point that I'm blinded or so bold that now I have this false pride, or I have this ego. I have my ego take over the way. I have the ego blind me to reality. Not like that. I just felt like I wanted to ride the momentum, the energy. And the worst that could happen was no, or I wouldn't get what I want. And if you can really accept that, if you can really accept that there's some things you just can't get either. No matter how hard you try, no matter how much effort or energy you put into it, you're just not going to get it. And that's just how it is. So if you can accept that, you're really, really on your path to what people call freedom. So when I got out here, I met a couple. Actually, I met a woman out here, and she introduced me to her family. And her family was wealthy, and they lived in downtown LA. And very nice woman. And she ended up helping me out when I got out here. All because she liked my story, she said. And she liked the mission that I was on and what motivated me to take my journey out here. Because there's a lot of people, again, out there that may be listening now or listening in the future that are still afraid to take certain steps towards goals that they want to achieve for whatever reason they were or are. And I'm here to smash that, to break that, to show you as a living example that whatever you have right now within here, you can put that to the forefront. You could put that into action tonight or today, wherever you may be in the world. So yes, information is free if we can access it. If we can access it. If we can access it. Accessing information doesn't always have to be through something you see or something that costs money. It could be a certain individual that has the information too. This is key. So this is what an opportunity is built on. It's built on being able to see something into the future that you can't see right now. That's now technically in what we're calling the past. Because as I'm speaking, the past is traveling right on my back. So I have to be able to see something in the future. So when I came out here to California, before I started meeting people out here, I didn't know what to expect. I knew that I was on a journey that was taking me in a new direction in my life that I wanted to go, only because I chose it this time. make sure that the information that we're taking in is of your choosing. We are influenced constantly every day, constantly. And I know it's a lot worse for those of you that are surrounded by family and friends constantly. I'm not like that. I live alone. I love it. Um, I interact with people outside of my home, those that I choose to interact with. But I've been in situations where you don't even have a room in your house to just go relax and have some privacy. And to me, that was detrimental. There was no way I could access information that was vital to me when somebody's constantly in my face talking to me, talking, and talking about nothing. Just blah, 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 talking about all this nonsense. It's like, no. Mm-mm. So that quiet time, that quiet space is vital. It's vital. So that was part of my mission coming out here. I took the trip alone. I got out here. I was alone, and I began to search. Now I began to look around my environment and began to see that yeah, I'm really alone. I don't know anybody out here. I don't have any road maps. I don't have anything. As somebody looking in at me from the outside would say, well, he doesn't have anything going for him, but I had everything going for me. I had everything going for me. You know why? Because when I got out here, my mindset wasn't shaped like most of the world's mindset is. I didn't need a travel itinerary. That wouldn't have been fun. I didn't need to meet anybody out here when I got out here because the people that I didn't have in my life at that time, that are no longer in my life at the moment, were trying to keep me back in New Jersey. Were trying to keep me back on the East Coast. And I didn't want to go on the East Coast. I always wanted to come to the West Coast. I just didn't know I had to come here alone because nobody else was willing to come out here with me. No friends, nothing. And that's hard. It's hard because a lot of us have friends that are very good people, very great people, very generous people, very kind people, very nice people. You literally have to sever that relationship. That's my experience. A lot of you may disagree, but in my experience is if I didn't sever that information, their influence would have kept me back in my past, and therefore I wouldn't be here talking to you tonight. So people like to say it's a risk, you take risks. I don't see it as a risk. I don't see risks. I just see progress. What are you trying to progress towards? And again, it takes information to know what exactly you're trying to progress towards or advance towards. A lot of times when you're surrounded by people that are less advanced than you, they want to hold you back. And a lot of times it's not malicious. It's just subconscious. It's just subconscious. And I had to get away from those people because they didn't know what they were doing and it was affecting me emotionally. And if I had thought for even just a second more, I would have never stepped on that train platform in New Jersey and headed off to Philadelphia on my way over here to California. So the information, yes, it's free, but we don't always have access to the information that we really need and want. So I arrived here in California and I found the information that I was looking for. And I'm not going to involve that individual on this channel here for that person's protection. I've already gone over that in my first live stream, and you can go to my About section to read a little bit about why I made that disclaimer in the first live stream. My disclaimer is posted in my About section on YouTube. You can go check it out there. But so today I teach. I have students, I have clients, I teach. And I've always been teaching. I've always been teaching. I've not always liked to teach, but I've always been teaching because I have a channel on here. It might still even be up. I don't even know. Called Common Sense Inc. And I was in the whole right to travel movement, and I was bringing people out of that, the right to travel IDs. I was doing all that. I wrote a book called Bail Out Illegal Matrix. I still have that book if anybody's interested. And I break down the common laws and in maritime law. And I was doing all that, the Commonwealth law. I was breaking down all this stuff. And I was even helping people in jail. I was helping people with their divorces. I was doing all that. And then one day I came to a realization that all that really doesn't mean anything. Because if I can prevent all that by not even playing in that type of informational game. And I use the word game loosely because if you look at this existence, this life we're in, this story that's being produced constantly, whether we're awake or we're sleeping, it is sort of like a game because everybody's doing something different, and whether you're interested in what the person's doing, like me here tonight, it becomes entertainment. It's no different than a game. So, but you can learn, which is great. So I realized, like, doing this Commonwealth Inc. and doing the right to travel IDs, and I was making good money. I was making good money at it too. But I realized you could just prevent all that by not even acknowledging it. And here it is. This information is not free. Most people don't know that. Most people don't know that you can have a great, desirable relationship without getting married. Me personally, I would actually suggest don't get married. I'm just gonna say it here. I'm not a marriage counselor. I don't give marriage advice, but in my personal experience, for a person like me, it doesn't work. It may work for you, but why do you need a piece of paper to let the person next to you know that you love them? I don't see the point in that. Same with the driver's license, and the right to travel ID. Well, if the cop doesn't accept this right to travel ID, or if he doesn't accept the constitutional law, you're gonna be spending a lot of time in court. Do you really want to deal with that? I'm just saying. I mean, there's bigger battles to fight than that. I'm not knocking that whole movement. I'm not knocking the whole movement. All I'm saying is, for me, I stopped playing in that game, and I started looking within to myself and seeing how I could actually avoid situations like that. And one of them was to take public transit. A lot of people like the convenience of the vehicle. Again, I'm not saying that driving vehicles, there's anything wrong with it. All I'm saying is that for me at that time, the one way to avoid being stopped in traffic and all that is just don't even play in that game. Yeah, it's inconvenient, but that's the sacrifice. And it really depends on what you're feeling in the moment and just where you are. And for me at that time, I didn't want to be bothered with any of that. But I'm still willing to help other people go through their situation dealing with that. So I spent a lot of time really NOLO and on Cornell Law websites and Nexus Lexus, and I was doing all that work, hours looking stuff up, hours. An average person's not doing that. So I charge good money, not as much as a lawyer, but very good money. The people paid. And people would send me videos, and I still have them, of them getting out of traffic stops with my information that I taught them. But again, when you get to a certain level, that's on a lower level. And again, I'm not putting people down that's in that type of mindset where they feel like they have to get married or use the right to travel IDs instead of getting a license. And the reason why I say this is because after I wrote my book, Bail Out Illegal Matrix, I realized that okay, there's all these things, all this information that's on paper here, but if you're not the power structure, if you're not the one creating the rules, they don't have to listen to you. And they're only listening to us because at that moment something clicked and they granted us a little reprieve. But I began to realize that that's kind of naive because, again, you're not the one making the rules. You're not the power structure. So I got out of that. I eventually got out of that because it just didn't make sense anymore. So what did make sense? What did make sense was just continuing to teach other people how to get out of this evil, contractable, programmable society that we live in. And there's a way to get out of that, and it does deal with just not playing in it as much as you can. Yes, I get it. Even me right now, I'm doing certain things where I have to play in it a little bit, but you just consciously know that what you're doing is temporary and that it's not you, it's not your identity. Your identity is what's within you. It's what benefits you. It's what makes you happy. And everybody's different. And that's okay. And if somebody that you call a friend says they understand you, then they'll accept you no matter who you are. Now, I put a caveat on that. They'll accept you no matter who you are, meaning they will respect you and they accept the fact that is who you are. But they can also say, you know what? I don't have to be around you. I don't have to be in your life. And I always warn my students and clients that when you begin to change, so will your family and friends, because a lot of people are comfortable where they're at, even if it's not serving them well. A lot of people are comfortable where they're at, and even if it's not serving them well. So I'm going to begin wrapping this up very soon, but let me just leave you with this. You access the information that you want by opening your mouth and asking. I had to learn that I didn't know everything, that I was still very immature, and I craved maturity at the time. I was seeking a certain information that I received. And let nature do its job. Nature is waiting to serve you. That's the whole point of being here too. Nature gives. Nature, universe, whatever you want to call it. It gives, and it gives, and it gives. And it gives. But if you're not open to receive what it's giving to you, you can't expect to get what you want. That's just how it is. And nature is unforgiving. Nature isn't just peace and contentment. Nature is also chaos and disharmony. But it's the way we act within this disharmony and chaos is really what shows what type of information you're using. If you're still living in a chaotic a life that's still in disharmony, and you don't like it, well, maybe you're not allowing new things into your life to change you. Because the true change comes when you change. That's it. And all of us are never going to be fully changed, and all of us are never going to be fully complete, but we can work towards that if that's what you desire. And that's what I truly desire. I always truly desire to keep growing and not be the same person I am today 10 years from now. If I'm the same person that I was 10 years from now, then I'm not doing something right. That's my opinion. That's the way I feel. If I'm not advancing years from now from who I am today, I'm doing something wrong. I'm not doing something right. So, yes, information is free, but the information that you seek and crave may not be, and you may have to pay for it. So I charge. I have a book back here that I sell, Journey of Your Soul. Freedom Through God's Word. It's book 1 in a series of texts that I teach from. I had to pay in order to create that book. I had to learn from somebody else, pay them in order to create a book that others pay me for to learn from me. This is how it works. And we have no problem paying what the media pumps out on mainstream, from your colleges to famous stars, whatever, music people, that aren't freeing you to be yourself. And I'm going to be doing a lot more videos on that in the future, just not tonight. So I missed out on a lot of information in the beginning because I wasn't willing to pay for it myself. Whether my mindset was off, which I know it was. There's the broke and the poor mindset. The broke mindset is, and I use these terms loosely, the broke mindset is the mindset that I only have a couple dollars in my pocket. I just paid rent or bills. I only have a couple dollars in my pocket, and I gotta go eat peanut butter and jelly. Okay? But that person knows that at some point they're gonna be eating steaks and hamburgers or whatever they like to eat again. Then you have the poor mindset where the guy is, I lost everything, I'm never gonna come out of this. Let me just go eat out of the trash can. So which one are you? Which one are you right now? Which one are you right now? I know somebody came to me today and was like, listen, I'm really interested in your information. I'm really interested in what you're talking about tonight. I can't afford to pay you, man. Is there anything else I could do for you? Could I send out some emails for you? Could I package some orders for you? Could I, whatever, answer a phone call from the business line for you? Whatever it is. If they're willing to serve, I say absolutely yes. Yes. Because service is a form of payment as well. Because you're giving me your time. So, for instance, one of my classes is an hour. It costs X amount of dollars. You want to give me an hour of your time? I'll give you a class. Simple as that. It's as simple as that. So it doesn't always have to be money. It's just a point of how much do you value the information that's going to change your life and benefit you. So you can grab all the free information you want off of YouTube. That's great. But then there's those of us that are willing to pay for it and get even deeper within ourselves in order to see greater change in our life and to get exactly what we want. And when I say exactly, I mean exactly, because over time, when you're putting value on yourself, there's no amount that you're not willing to pay to keep enhancing yourself. And as you're enhancing yourself, the way the brain works is that the brain grows quicker and faster at what it wants you to get or desire. And therefore, you get exactly what you want. But just think, just buying one book or taking one course. I paid for a lot of things in my past that I really valued. So, and it did benefit me. And I did make that money back. So, yes, pick up free information, great. I hope it works out for you, but I'm going to keep paying for information. And therefore, I will receive the value that I seek. And I hope this stream, that's all I have tonight. I hope this stream is a lot better than my last one. And I do plan on doing a longer stream this Saturday at 11 a.m. I may drop another short one during the week, another pop-up spontaneous live stream. But if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I go live again. And start dropping some comments on my channel. It helps the algorithm. And for those of you that are interested in getting some oils, send me an email or give me a call on the phone. Everyone, have a great night or a great day wherever you are. And I'll talk to you soon.